The growing demographic of atheism is detrimental to society.
How so?
Well, America was a once moral society that loved God, their country, and all things American.
So, you believe that has since changed?
Yes, absolutely.
And what does atheism have to do with this exactly?
Everything. It is you people who demoralize our society with your foul music, movies, TV shows, and everything else you people like. It's done intentionally to deter godly people from the path of Jesus Christ.
That is nonsense.
No, it is not. Do you think 50 years ago teenagers were watching movies like Jackass, Freddy Got Fingered, The Hangover, and Dude, Where's My Car?
Well, of course not. But, are you implying that these are atheists writing these screen films?
Yes.
Well then, aren't you ignorant? Most of those screenwriters are Christians and Jews. Atheists make for a decimal portion of film writers.
I find that hard to believe. Godly people don't subject themselves to such crap.
Well, believe it.
Whatever. How about all those atheists who protest prayer in school? You think that should be okay? Should my children have their God-given rights taken away just because they share a classroom with some self-centered non-believer?
First of all, it is not a God-given right, it is a man-given right. Without the grant of your nation, your rights to religion would not be guaranteed. Secondly, this country has separation of church and state. There are places reserved for religious practices, schools not being one of them. This is not selfish. Selfish is requesting a child who is not of your faith, or a different faith, or lack thereof, to swear under a God they do not recognize or believe.
That's the problem. You non-believers always fight the traditions of our nation. This is a Christian nation, built on Christianity.
This is not a Christian nation. Many of the founding fathers of this nation were not of your faith. Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Paine, James Madison, George Washington, and most notably, Abraham Lincoln were all non-believers, agnostics, and atheists. So explain to me where you get the notion that this is a Christian nation?
Okay, well, why is it that only for you religious minorities, we are to alter our traditions to suit your worldviews? That is not fair. We are made a mockery whenever we praise our faith. You people are destroying our good name in our own society.
That's actually silly that you blame us for what you people do to yourself. Christians make stupid claims like declaring Armageddon, calling people the Antichrist, blaming natural disasters on their upset God, and picketing signs that say God hides facts at a dead soldier's funeral. How can you expect people to not criticize such actions? Now, name one absurd thing that atheists do.
Well, they're not Christians.
That's what you people always say. Well, guess what? Those people that you claim to not be Christians are actually the ones trying to take the Bible literally. Do you realize that if the Bible were the law of this land, this country would be no better than any Islamic Sharia country?
Well, the Bible is a symbolic book, not to be taken literally.
Where in the Bible does it mention that it is a book of symbolism? If you are truly a Christian, then you cannot just pick and choose what you wish to follow and ignore. What kind of Christian believes the Bible to be the literal word of God, yet calls it a symbolic book? You are one of the many confused Christians.
Because many practices in the Bible cannot suit modern-day society. We cannot just execute a homosexual, stone an adulterer, or enslave a people. Those days are final.
Really? Because in the Eastern world homosexuals continue to be executed, adulterers are still stoned, and slavery continues throughout Africa in this modern-day society. It is not that such practices cannot suit modernity. It is that Christians finally came to the realization that such practices are immoral.
Now are you telling me that Christianity is the problem? Are you implying that you are a little Miss Perfect because you are arrogant enough to deny God?
I'm not blaming anyone, as you are blaming atheists for everything. And how is it arrogant to not believe in God? Isn't that an arrogant accusation?
How can it not be arrogant? Are you just that narcissistic to believe this world came into existence without a purpose?
What do you mean by purpose? When you say the word purpose, you are implying that there was an intelligent designer with a plan. There is evidence to support chance versus the zero evidence to support the theory of creation. There is lengthy evidence to support that by involuntary action the universe expanded in over eons of time. Life as we know it took form and has since evolved into the existence of you and I, and all other life coexisting around us.
I don't understand.
You don't understand because you don't bother to understand. Instead, you would rather call me arrogant. There are logical explanations that reveal truth for many questions. But you have to seek that truth, not just accept what you are told.
But where do you get your morals from? Without the principles of Christianity and society, there would be no morals.
Okay. That is just a ridiculous claim. Were there no morals before Christians, Jews, and Muslims?
I'm sure there were, but not the same morals as we've blessed to the world. Without Christians, this world would be horrible.
Please tell me you are not serious. Are you aware that the most peaceful of nations are atheistic?
There are no atheistic nations in this world.
Oh really? In Estonia, only 16% believe in God, followed by the Czech Republic that has declared themselves an atheist nation, and the list goes on to Sweden, Denmark, Norway, Netherlands, France, Slovenia, Latvia, the United Kingdom, Iceland, Bulgaria, Finland, Belgium, Hungary, Luxembourg, Germany, Switzerland, Japan, Korea, and Vietnam. These are also all noted to be the most peaceful of nations. And might I add, these nations have the highest IQs, lowest poverty rate, and most stable economies in the world. The most unhappy of nations are found to be those that are of religious societies. So, do you still believe atheists are detrimental to society?
I never knew this, but it's scary to know. Most of those atheistic countries are European, the very people who crusade for the spread of Christianity. Now that it's dying, I think that's evidence enough that Jesus is no more than a moment away.
That is a sad way to interpret this. This change only suggests that we are evolving culturally as a world, where education is more dependable than religion.
Well, I believe this is a clear sign of Jesus coming.
Oh okay. If you wish to believe so, but that's nonsense.